All right. Thank you, and thank you. Welcome to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean. We have Week 4 upon us, people, and man, do we have a show for you tonight. We have a lot of news going on in the NFL, mind you. We have Mr. Sean McCoy. Yes, he retired today, and he signed a one-day contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's going to go out as an Eagle when he started years ago. And LeSean McCoy, his nickname was Shady McCoy. And, when he first started out, he was getting over 1,000 yards rushing, 1,300 yards rushing. He did that a couple years in a row. He was all world, man. He was, he just had a great career. And then he went to Buffalo after that and was just eating it up at Buffalo. And he finished it out with a one-day contract with the Philadelphia Eagles today. Hats off to Mr. Shady McCoy. Thank you so much for giving us all the ahs and oohs that we definitely had. When we watched you run, he was just amazing, guys. I mean, the cuts. He reminded me of O.J. Simpson in a way, and in a way he cut, and even with Barry Sanders-ish. There's not many people like Barry Sanders-ish, and Mr. Shady McCoy was one of them. That it's almost a replica of Barry in a way. Just an amazing talent, and it's sad to see him go. But 12 years in the NFL. That's pretty good especially for a running back. Usually running backs don't last that long in the NFL. Well, we have Week 4 upon us. And man, if you would have been listening to me last week, you would have made a lot of money. You would have made a lot of money. Yes, I had the upset special of the week in Week 3. If you go to my podcast last week and listen to the upset special of the week, and that was the Los Angeles Chargers beating the Kansas City Chiefs at home, guys. I just knew it. I tell you, those Chargers are really, really good, and they have this great defense, and Heber is all that and then some. He's another Mahomes type of quarterback. He is really like a Mahomes. He's really good. I think he is going to actually do better than Mahomes. I really do, because he would rather sit in the pocket and pass the ball other than sit in the pocket and run out of the pocket and pass. He's more of a drop back passer, and man, what an arm on that kid. Heber is just amazing. What a game. You got to listen to me, people, because I did that, and then also I did my lock of the week was the Raiders, and they won in overtime, but they still won. And you just have to listen to me. Last week, I went 12-4. Not many did that, including the upsets. And how about that 66-yard field goal by Justin Tucker? Wow. Was that exciting to watch? There was a little controversy, I believe, about the seconds going off the clock. But that was the seconds on the TV time, and they weren't matching up with the field time. Remember that. And the field refs had a different watch. So they were off. The TV time was off. And that was legitimate. So it was a legitimate field goal, 66 yards, longest field goal ever in the history of the NFL by Mr. Justin Tucker. And man, I'm telling you, those Ravens, they're all hurt. Their top 3 running backs hurt. They have guys from the practice squad coming on. And mind you, they would never have been that close. But we had downtown Hollywood Brown missing 3 touchdown passes. Really, think about that. If he would have caught all 3 catches, then we wouldn't have had that 66-yard field goal. in the end of the game, and Mr. Lamar Jackson would have been looking all world, and he should have been. I just couldn't believe. The passes weren't hard to catch. It was right in his hands, and he was wide open. So I'm sure he's going to bounce back. But notice how open he gets, and how much Lamar loves him. Man, if you have Mr. Hollywood, Downtown Hollywood Brown on your fantasy football team, play him this week, because he's going to be all that, and he's going to catch up, and he's going to have like 2 or 3 touchdowns. Watch it. Just watch. I know my stuff, people. I know my stuff. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, we have Thursday Night Football. Yeah, welcome to Thursday Night Football, sponsored by the NFL Network, and you have reached the Calvin Dean Show. Wow. Tonight's going to be an interesting night. It really is. We have the 2 number 1 picks. We have the number 1 pick from last year, Mr. Joe Burrow, and we have the number 1 pick of this year, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. And in all reality, the Bengals, their offense is at 28th in the league, and the the Jacksonville Jags are number 23rd in the league. So in all reality, they have a little bit better offense, but Mr. Trevor Lawrence, he just it's the funny part is that he found out what a 1-15 team is. The first 3 games of the season, and that offensive line is not being kind to Mr. Trevor Lawrence. But he is just a god, isn't he? He's like that 6'6" Adonis. He's a long, flowing hair, speed. He rifles the ball. This guy looks so good. But man, Mr. Joe Burrows, he's just coming alive this second year. He's finding receivers. Jamar Chase. That guy is just, come on, LSU to LSU prods. These guys are just really, really doing good. And now, Kyler Murray last week threw 316 yards against the Jacksonville Jags defense, and their defense is ranked number 29. And the defense of the Cincinnati Bengals is ranked 8th in the NFL, the top 10 defense in the NFL. And the passing on both sides are kind of, I don't know, I think it's more of the turnovers with this team, where Trevor Lawrence has just been turning the ball over. Mr. Robinson last week had 15 carries at 88 yards, 5.9% yards per carry, and he had 1 touchdown. Now, on the other hand, we had Mr. Joe Mixon. Mixon had 15 carries, a little like 59 yards. But I think it was more of the defense for the Cincinnati Bengals. They had 4 sacks, 7 QB hurries, 3 sacks allowed against and 6 QB hits when the Jags played last week. And Trevor Lawrence had 2 interceptions, 1 TD, and 219 yards passing. I'm telling you something. This defense on the Cincinnati Bengals, the average quarterback's been averaging 70, and that's not good. That's not good at all. So Cincinnati looks so good in this game. That's what scares me. I hate it when people like last week, we're like, oh, Kansas City's going to win. They're going to beat Los Angeles Chargers, and everyone had Kansas City. But Calvin Dean, the Calvin Dean Show, no. What did I pick? I picked the Los Angeles Chargers to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and I even told my buddy, Chris, about it, and Chris made a lot of money. He's like, he took it to the bank, man. He took it to the bank. And that's the great part about my show, is that I always pick the first 3 weeks I picked the the upset special of the week, and all 3 weeks I've been right. So you have to start listening to me, everyone. Now, Joe Burrow's last week, 172 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, Jamar Chase, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's going to have a field day again tonight. It's in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense. I think Trevor Lawrence will put up some good numbers. I think it'll be closer than everyone thinks it's going to be. I think it's going to be like 35-27. I think Jacksonville's going to hang in there, but it's all going to be Cincinnati, and everyone and their brother is talking about Cincinnati is going to definitely win this game, and I'm giving it to Cincinnati by 8 to 10 points. Like I said, I think it's going to be closer than everyone thinks it's going to be. So we're going to get to the Sunday game on October 3rd. And we have the first game in the morning. We have the Tennessee Titans going into the New York Jets. The New York Jets. Does Wilson look terrible or what? This is what I mean. When I told everyone last year about Sam Darnold, I said about the New York Jets, they need to keep Sam Darnold. They really do need to keep him and get some weapons around him instead of getting another quarterback who's just met a terrible team. And I don't think the New York Jets are going to win this year. I just don't see them winning. They're that terrible. Now you have an offense, the number 15th ranked offense was the Titans, and another 30th ranked offense is the New York Jets. That's terrible, guys. And then the next one is, now think about this, the defense of the Titans is number 15, and the Jets defense is number 10. That's surprising. So the defense is kind of keeping the New York Jets in the game, so to speak. I just don't see, the New York Jets winning this game. We have the passing attack of 21-30. 21 ranked 21st is the Titans, and ranked 30th is the New York Jets. My brother's favorite team is the New York Jets. He just loves New York. He just loves it. He loves it number 5. I got him on 5 jersey, and he just loves that. He loves that. And now the rushing attack, they have Henry. Henry is now, the Titans are number 3 in the league. Number 3 in the league, guys. The passing rating of Wilson last week was 42. That's terrible. They met a team in the Denver Broncos last week, and there's just no way. How can you beat the Broncos? The Broncos are tough guys this year, and the Jets had to play them, and they intercepted the ball. Now, mind you, there was a couple passes there with Wilson that went off the hands of the receiver, and it wasn't his fault. But on the other hand, he just looked terrible. He looked bad. He's just hurrying all the balls. He just doesn't know what to do. That's the sad part. And the rushing attack on the New York Jets, they're number 29th, and their passing is 30th. So they're almost last in offense. They're, like I said, their defense is keeping them in the game. I think it's going to be a closer game than everyone thinks. This one. I think the Tennessee Titans are going to pull it out, but I think the New York Jets are going to be winning, and everyone's going to be freaking out. And then at the end of the game, Tennessee Titans are going to just roll, and they're going to score like around 30 points, and the Jets will have like 24 points, and it'll be like a last-second touchdown, and the Tennessee Titans will win. And it'll be a really, really close game. It's going to be a surprising game. I think Wilson will have a better game, and we'll go on that. But I'm giving that to the Titans. The next game, We have the Kansas City Chiefs who are in last place, guys. Last place in their division. Can you believe that? If you would have talked to me in the beginning of the season and you would have said, well, Kansas City by the third game is going to be in last place in their division. I mean, I would have been saying, I'm not too surprised. That's the thing. I am not surprised, guys. I'm just not surprised. They have a revamped offensive line, the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And, that revamped offensive line, it takes a while for the offensive line to gel. And we're going to look at this game, and it's going to be one of those games. They're going into Philadelphia, number one. That's going to be hard to play, right? Very hard to play in Philly. And you have the number 6th offense against the number 16th offense in the Eagles. And then you have the number 30th defense on the Kansas City Chiefs. Their defense is just atrocious, guys. And that's the reason why, Mahomes and company have been losing, too, as well. Their defense is number 30th, almost last in their defense. Something's up with that. And then we have the number 7th defense in Philadelphia, number 7 in the league, guys. So you got to watch that. And then passing-wise, of course, you have Mahomes, top 5. He's 5th ranked passing offense in the league. And the 15th ranked passing offense is Jalen Hurts. Now, they played against the Cowboys. They looked really terrible. They just couldn't stop the Cowboys. And Jalen didn't really look all world. But you know what? The thing of it is with Jalen Hurts, sometimes he shows up and sometimes he doesn't. And I think this time he's going to show up and he's going to give a really good performance for the Philadelphia Eagles. And mind you, they're at home as well. So watch out for that. The Eagles' rushing is better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs is ranked 13th in the NFL. 13th in the NFL. And the rushing attack for the Philadelphia Eagles is ranked 5th. So, I mean, there's a lot to this game. I mean, the Eagles are smarting, but I didn't see much of the Eagles against the Cowboys. I really didn't. I'm going to give the Kansas City Chiefs this game. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're going to win convincingly, but not too convincingly. The Eagles are going to keep there. And I think if the Eagles pound the ball and keep Kansas City off the field, I think Kansas City is going to have a problem. They will, and I just see it. But I see the Kansas City Chiefs eking out a victory in this one. I'm seeing the Kansas City Chiefs win this game, but it's going to be less than 7 points. I truly believe that it's going to be like 28-22 or 27-21 or something like that, and Kansas City is going to win, and they'll be 2-2 at the end of this game, and the Eagles will be 1-3. The next game's an interesting game, guys. Very interesting. We have the 3-0 Panthers against the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, mind you, they're 2-1. The Dallas Cowboys, and they look really good against Tampa. Dak Prescott looks all world, but there's that Panther defense, guys, that they're going to hit, and they're this young defense, and they're just flying around the ball. Their offense for the Panthers are ranked 10th. Now, mind you, McCaffrey is going to be out this game, so that's a big blow to the offensive power of the Panthers. But Mr. Sam Darnold doesn't seem phased. McCaffrey went down, doesn't seem phased. The guy looked all world. I mean, really, his passer rating was 99%, 68% completion rating. He had 296 yards of passing against the Saints. I called that game again. Now, Donald is good. Donald is he loves DJ Moore. loves DJ Moore. I think they're going to have a hard time, the Cowboys, stopping DJ Moore and this offense. And now, mind you, the defense is number 1 in the NFL. Yes, the Carolina Panthers defense is number 1 in the NFL. One more time. The Carolina Panthers defense is number 1 in the NFL. And the Cowboys is number 26th, and that's not good. That's not good, especially for this offense. Now, the offense of the Cowboys are good. They're good. I just, and you have the passing attack. Actually, the passing on Sam Darnold they're beating the Cowboys. They're 8th in the NFL, and the Cowboys are 10th in the NFL. Now, this is where it gets down to it. It's the actual rushing. The rushing for the Carolina Panthers are ranked 14th, and the rushing for the Dallas Cowboys are ranked 4th. Now, that has to do with the duo. We have Zeke and Pollard. That's a great duo because Zeke is that pounder. He just puts his head down. He's lost a step, but he's strong, and he's just going to pound. And then you have Pollard, on the other hand, who is one of those guys who he's that speedy back who finds a hole and has some great yards after getting the ball. So this is going to be in Dallas. Dallas is 2-1, and the Carolina Panthers are 3-0. Now, that defense of the Carolina Panthers, man, you just have to watch it. This is an interesting game. This is a very, very, very interesting game, people. Everyone wants to pick, on the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone needs to. I'm sure the majority of everyone picking is going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. I just see it happening. This is such a tough game to pick. And the Carolina Panthers are real. Now, without McCaffrey, that's going to be interesting because they're going to be hurting on that end. So the Cowboys defense, they looked great last week. So I'm going to give this one to the Dallas Cowboys at home, and the Panthers will suffer their first loss of the season, and that's because of Mr. McCaffrey is out. I just don't see the Panthers. I think it's going to be one of those games. I think the Panthers, they're going to be wild, their defense. But that Cowboy defense looked good last week. They really did. And just the way they've been playing lately, the Cowboys, they look like a playoff team. They really do. And I think they'll win that division. I didn't have them winning that division at first. But right now I see them winning division, and hands down. I think they're definitely the best team in that division. We have the next game. We have the Giants, the New York Football Giants. Talk about that division, New York Football Giants. They're playing the Saints. The Saints are limping in at 2-1. This game is a tough call. It really is. The New Orleans Saints, they should win this game, but their offense is 31st in the NFL. And, the Giants are 18th. The defense for the Saints are, they have that normal defense. It's 6th. And the defense for the Giants are 21st. The passing is 17th to 31st. Now, think about this. The Saints' passing attack is 31st in the NFL. 31st. And wow. That's not good. That's not good. The Giants is 17th, and you have the rushing on the Giants side they're ranked 12th, and the Saints are in the top 10. They're 9th. I just wish the Giants were playing better. They're playing they're playing against the Saints. I believe the Saints might be playing in Jacksonville for this one, or in New Orleans. I'll have to check that out. and see where they're playing. But it's a home game for the Saints, and I see an 0-4 Giants team after the end of this game, and I think the Saints will just destroy the New York Football Giants, their offensive line, and I think I just see the Saints winning this game probably by around 10 to 14 points. The next game is going to be a tough one, guys. You have Odell Beckham back, and you have the Cleveland Browns going into the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings, they have been looking on the world, haven't they? Their offense is number 3 in the league. The number on the Browns is number 7. The defense for the Browns is 3, and the defense for the Vikings is number 28. And now you know why the Vikings offense is number 3, because their defense is number 28. So that's all Kirk Cousins has been doing is passing ball down the field, and he's been doing it really, really, proficiently. Jefferson had 8. Yeah, I believe Kirk Cousins has 8 touchdowns, a passer rating of 118, an average of 360 yards per game. Wow. That's pretty good for Kirk Cousins. Hats off to him. Now, the passing attack on the Browns on Baker Mayfield, they're ranked 19th. I think they'll get better with OBJ in there, but their rushing attack is where it's at, the Browns. They're number 2. The rushing attack for the Minnesota Vikings is number 6. Now, mind you, they have been hurt in the running backs. Dalvin Cook has been hurt. Madison came through last week and he ran really well. I was impressed with him, by the way. And now Dalvin Cook's back. I don't know how, what his percentage is going to be. I don't think he'll be running the ball like he was before. I think they'll have him on a pitch count. And then you have the rushing attack. They're 6th, and then the Browns are number 2. This is going to be a tough game. You have the number 3 defense and the number 2 offense for number 2 rushing offense and number 7 rushing offense. Number 7 rushing. Offensive line offense for the Browns. I'll be okay. And then you have the offense for the Minnesota Vikings, number 3. That's the whole thing I don't like about this game is the 28th defense for the Minnesota Vikings. I just don't see them beating the Browns. I think the Browns are going to come in and they're just going to grind the ball. They're going to try to keep the ball away from Kirk Cousins. And the Browns are going to go into the Minnesota Vikings, and they're going to be 3-1 at the end of this game. The next game is the Lions against the Bears. The Bears just looked terrible last week. Justin Fields, his first start of the year, and he was just horrendous. And their offense for the Chicago Bears is ranked last offense, 32nd, and 32nd passing offense. They're terrible, guys. And the offense for the Detroit Lions are 17th. Their defense is 22nd. The only thing that keeping the Bears in the game is the 12th ranked defense. But the passing and attack with Jared Goff of number 14 and the passing attack of either Justin Fields or I just don't see Dalton coming up, and I think he'll have a better game if they start Dalton, but they're 32nd. I think they'll maybe improve against the Detroit Lions defense of 22nd. But then you have the rushing attack for the Lions is 15, and then you have the Bears is 20. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be in Soldier Field. It's going to be in Chicago. I think the Lions are really smarting. I think this is going to be their first win of this season, and Jared Goff's first win for the Lions, and they'll beat the Chicago Bears in Chicago. The next game is the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be my lock game of the week. What I mean about lock games This means that you have to go out and bet everything you have on the Buffalo Bills. That's what a lock game is. And the lock game, and there's a reason for it. The Texans' offense is ranked 24th. The offense for the Bills is ranked 12th. The defense for the Titans is the 23rd, and the defense for the Bills is ranked 4th. They're in the top 5 defensive teams in the NFL. The passing attack, 24th. For the Texans, you don't know who's going to start, right? And then for Mr. Josh Allen, he's ranked 11th, and they came alive last week. Their passing attack, so you just have to watch it. This is a lock. This is the lock game of the week, and their rushing attack. Even the Bills' rushing attack is 7th. It has a lot to do with Mr. Josh Allen as well. But I'm telling you right now, they're definitely. They're definitely going to win, and it's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's going to be in Buffalo as well, and I just don't see the Texans even come close in this game. We have the 0-3 Indianapolis Colts going into the Miami Dolphins. Now, mind you, I just don't see the Dolphins. They don't have Tua. And they have, they had a heck of a game last week. Heck of a game. I was very impressed. Their offense is 29th. The Colts is 21. Defense 18 for the Colts. Defense for the Miami Dolphins is 25th. The passing attack for the Colts is 26th. You have Carson Wentz, he's hurting, and the passing attack for the Dolphins is near last, and they're 29th. Rushing the ball on the Colts end, I think the Colts are 19th. I truly believe the Colts are going to win this game against the Dolphins at home, and the Dolphins will end up 1-3 at the end of this game, and the Colts will end up 1-3 at the end of this game, and the Colts will have their first win of the season in the Dolphins. It's going to be a close game, guys. Just if you're betting points and stuff, it's going to be a very close 1 or 2 point game on this one. 1 or 2 point game. The next game, you have the Washington football team against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons won last week. What a surprise. You never know who's going to show up for Atlanta. The offense for each team, you have the Washington football team at ranked 20th in the National Football League. And the Atlanta Falcons, 27th. Defense-wise, now the Washington football team is supposed to be great defense, but their defense is ranked last in the NFL. Last. Wow. And the defense on the Falcons ranked 19th. This is going to be a barn burner. I see the Atlanta Falcons. They surprise all these people, and the Washington football team. I don't know about them, but I think they're going to pull it out. I think the Washington football team are going to pull it out. I think their defense is going to come alive in this game. Defense is going to score a touchdown in this game, and the Washington football team is going to win like 18-12. And that's going to be the end of that game. And Washington will be 2-2 at the end of this game. The Seattle Seahawks going into the San Francisco 49ers. We have Nicky's Niners. Oh, poor Nicky. I'm so sorry. Jimmy G looked great. Nicky, you got to be impressed with Jimmy G. How he cocks and pulls it back, and he looks good. He flicks the ball. Everyone's talking about Aaron Rodgers, right? Man, Jimmy G's good, guys. He is good. He made some throws near the end of that game that was pretty impressive. And they just scored, and their defense just couldn't hold the Green Bay Packers. And it was up to their defense to come through, and they didn't come through. Their offense came through, but their defense did not. Now, mind you, the Seahawks, their offensive line is just horrific. Mr. Wilson is just running around. Russell Wilson's running around for his life. And their defense is last in the NFL. The Seahawks' defense is last. That's huge, especially going against the 49ers. Niners, their defense is 16th, their passing is 16th, and their rushing is 16th. The Seahawks passing is 9th, rushing is 11th. They're 11th ranked offense in the NFL, and the San Francisco 49ers is ranked 19th. Wow. Now, it's in Candlestick. They're both teams are hurting from the last game. They're both smarting big time. And I just don't see I think the San Francisco 49ers defense with Bosa, I think they're just going to be all over Russell Wilson. I think they're going to be all over him like a cheap suit. And they're just going to stop the rush. They're going to stop the pass. And it's going to be an exciting game. I think this is going to be another exciting game. I think it'll be like 38-34 or something like that. And but the San Francisco 49ers will come and will prevail in this one. And San Francisco will prevail. Nikki's Niners will win this game and be 3-1, and the Seahawks will be 1-3. Seahawks are going to be in trouble after this game. They're going to be in trouble because their defense is trouble. The next game is it's going to be an interesting game. You have two undefeated teams going in. It's going to be at SoFi Stadium. We have the Arizona Cardinals coming into Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium, that gorgeous stadium in Los Angeles. Gorgeous stadium, multi-billion-dollar stadium. And they have, the Arizona Cardinals coming into town, and they're playing against the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, man, did Stafford look great. He was just all world against the Bucs. The Bucs secondary is hurting. They picked up a great corner, and over the weekend, over this last week, they picked up a great corner, and that person is Mr. Yes. This guy is, Sherman. Richard Sherman is on the Los Angeles Rams. Now, he had other teams he could have gone to, Richard did, but he looks in great shape. McVay is really happy, and man, that defense, they just picked up another. Excuse me for 1 second. I am so wrong. Richard Sherman went to the Tampa Bay Bucs. I apologize. I'll have to fire an intern on that one. That's for sure. But the Rams look really great. Like I said, the Bucs looked like they needed a Richard Sherman in their defensive, backfield. But this is going to be an interesting game. You have the Arizona Cardinals, their second-ranked offense in the NFL. The offense for the Los Angeles Rams is 13th. The defense for the Cardinals is ranked 11th, and the defense of the Los Angeles Rams is ranked 20th. And the passing attack on the Cardinals is ranked 3rd. Passing attack for the Los Angeles Rams is 6th. And this is where the game gets interesting. The rushing is 10th for the Cardinals, and the rushing for the Los Angeles Rams is ranked 27th. Now, mind you, the Rams have a great team. They really do. They have Sony Michel. They have Henderson as their two running backs. The Cooper Kupp is looking all world with Matthew Stafford. They're going every single morning. Before practice, they're out on the field doing drills. Mr. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, and it shows. It's like a Brady Wes Welker type of thing, and that's what it looks like. So this is going to be a tough decision. A lot of people are just picking the Rams because they beat the world champions last week. But they could have a hangover, and guess who's coming into town? Mr. Kyler Murray. But, man, that defense of the Rams, they're going to be all over him like a cheap suit. I think they're going to shut down Kyler's offensive prowess. And I'm giving this one to the Los Angeles Rams. They're going to be 4-0 at the end of this game. And my buddy Marlon, who just loves the Arizona Cardinals, he loves Kyler Murray. I'm sorry, buddy, but you're going to lose this game. It's going to be a tough game to lose. I think Kyler will play well, and the Rams will look flat at first, but then they'll pull it out at the end. The next game, you have the 1-2 Steelers going against the 2-1 Packers. The Packers looked all world last week. They came back and won at the last second field goal, and hats off to them, man. Hats off to them. I mean, what a great game that was. I mean, jeez, what a great game. San Francisco came back with 32 seconds left. Kyle Kuchek, he scored a touchdown with Jimmy G in the pocket, very confident. He scored with 32 seconds left, and Packers had no timeouts. But they have Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is a couple flicks of the wrist, got him down in field goal range, and got a field goal out of it, and they won the game. Hats off to the Green Bay Packers on that one. Their offense on the Steelers, 25th. Offense for the Packers is surprising, 26th. The defense on the Packers, 9th. The defense on the Steelers, 13th. The passing for the Steelers, 13th, and the passing for the Green Bay Packers is 22nd. That's skewed by the first game of the Packers, I think. But the rushing on the Packers is 30th, and against the 32nd, the worst rushing offense in the league is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game. Sorry, Justine. They're going to lose to the Packers. Packers, Ole, my good friend Ole and Sue, who live in Wisconsin. Your Packers are going to be 3-1 at the end of this game, and the Steelers are going to be really, really bad. I don't think Ben. I think it's Ben's last year. He doesn't look good at all. He just doesn't look good, guys. I would replace him if I was the Pittsburgh Steelers, coach. He would be replaced. Now this next game's a tough one. We have the 3-0 Broncos against the Baltimore Ravens, 2-1. Now, Baltimore Ravens just barely beat the Detroit Lions last week. They are such a gritty team. I mean, they have everyone hurt, and they just come back and they win. And I was just so impressed with the Baltimore Ravens last week. And I am just even more impressed with the Denver Broncos. The Broncos look all world, guys. They really do. They have that number 2 defense in the NFL, but they're going against the number 4 offense of the NFL. And the Denver Broncos are 14th offense in the NFL. But now the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, I think this is kind of skewed because they've been playing some great teams. They're 24th. I think they're a better defensive team than that. But the Broncos have been playing some questionable teams, like the Jets and stuff like that. So, of course, their defense is looking better. And then you have the passing attack. The Ravens' passing attack is 18th, and the passing attack for the Denver Broncos is 12th. That's suspect. And it's number 1 rushing attack for the Ravens and number 8th for the Denver Broncos. I think that's where it's going to win. It's going to win in the trenches because the Baltimore Ravens are all about, rushing the ball and grinding it out and just mauling the other team, And I mean, if it wasn't for Hollywood Brown's 3 missed touchdowns last year, he missed 3 touchdowns against the Detroit Lions. I know the Detroit Lions fan base was really mad at the end of the game about the clock, which the CBS was showing the clock at a certain time, but the refs on the field had the right time. But I just don't see the Broncos, staying with the Ravens, and I think the Ravens are a gutsy team. I really do. Now, mind you, if Lamar Jackson, I mean, he's been ill this week. He's been sitting out for practice, and I think he's going to be coming back. I just see the Baltimore Ravens just trying to hone in on, this game. I think downtown Hollywood Brown will surprise everyone and have a couple touchdowns of his own, and they'll just be playing up because of the Ravens' offensive prowess when it comes to rushing, and I think Lamar Jackson will have like a 4 touchdown day passing against the number 2 defense in the NFL. That's saying something. But like I said, they've been playing teams like the New York Jets, and so I mean, I'm not. It's kind of. I think the second ranked defense is kind of skewed in a way. So I really believe in the Ravens are going to beat the Denver Broncos in this game. This might be a minor upset. I think this would be the upset special of the week. It would be the Ravens over the Broncos. I don't really have much of an upset special this week. I have the Baltimore Colts beating the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins, I don't know what the morning line of the Dolphins is. Let me check that. Well, they're giving the Colts 1.5 points. So, or the Colts are giving them 1.5 points. And the Miami Dolphins are, actually, no, it's the opposite. The Miami Dolphins are favored by 1.5 points. So, and the Detroit Lions, they're getting 2.5. So the Indianapolis Colts, they're getting a 1.5. So I mean, that's not an upset at all. Boy, I mean, the Steelers are getting 6.5 points. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which would be my next game. I just don't see the New England Patriots beating the Bucs at all. Brady's going to be pissed off. This is going to be a fun game to watch. It's the game of the weekend to watch. We have the Tampa Bay Bucs pissed off that they lost last week against the Los Angeles Rams in Los Angeles, and I think they're going to come back. You have the number 8th offense against the number 22nd offense in the NFL. 8th is the Bucs, 22nd is the Patriots. The defense of the Patriots is number 5. Like I said, the Bucs have been hurting in defense. That's why they got Richard Sherman, and that is a plus. But he's not going to be playing this weekend. But, then you have Antonio Brown coming back this week. I think they're second in passing the Buccaneers against the 20th passing offense in the NFL for the New England Patriots. Rushing the ball 31st against 24th. Patriots, have Damian Harris. You never know what they're going to throw at you, the Patriots, who they're going to be putting in the lineup as a rusher this week. You never know what's going to happen. I just don't see the Patriots. I don't think they have the team to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm calling the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the New England Patriots in this game. And I'm definitely Brady will. I think he'll embarrass the New England Patriots by a couple touchdowns. That's my prediction for this game. It's the Sunday night game. Mind you, I'm picking the Jacksonville Jags over the Bengals. The other way around. The Bengals over the Jacksonville Jags tonight in Thursday Night Football. And the Tennessee Titans to beat the New York Jets, the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Eagles, the Cowboys to beat the Panthers. Panthers will suffer their first loss of the year. The Giants will be 0-4 at the end of the game on Sunday against the Saints. Saints will beat the Giants. I think the Cleveland Browns will beat the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions, that's an upset over the Bears. And the Buffalo Bills will carry the points by far. That's the lock game of the whole week. And another upset will be the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to beat the Miami Dolphins. The Washington football team will beat the Atlanta Falcons. The Nicky's Niners will beat the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks will be in trouble at the end of this game. They'll be 1-3. The game of there's a couple games of the week, I think. They'd be the Rams against the Arizona Cardinals in Los Angeles. The Rams will beat the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams defense will be too tough for Kyler Murray. It'll be a good game. But I'm giving this to the Los Angeles Rams. I'm giving the Green Bay Packers, who's just going to blow out the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just don't see Ben Roethlisberger, staying a Pittsburgh Steeler starting quarterback after this game. They'll be 1-3. The Ravens are going to beat the Denver Broncos. This is another upset. Yes, people, this is another upset now. Because the Ravens are getting half a point. And I really believe that the Ravens are going to control the ball, control the game in Mile High. And the Broncos will end up 3-1 at the end of this game. The Tampa Bay Bucks, like I said before, will beat the New England Patriots by 14 or 17 points. It's going to be a massive blowout. Belichick's going to have egg in his face on this one. And last but not least, you have the Las Vegas Raiders coming into Los Angeles SoFi Stadium on Monday Night Football. Mr. Derek Carr himself will prevail in this game. Yes, this is another game. Now, mind you, I can't believe that the Raiders are getting 3.5 points in this game. They're getting 3.5 points. Bet on the Raiders in this game. This is going to be my upset special of the week. The Las Vegas Raiders over the Los Angeles Chargers. This is going to be an exciting game on Monday night. So you have some great games this weekend. Some great games, really. Monday Night Football is going to be a great game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to be a fun game to watch, especially going to New England and beat Belichick's team. The Baltimore Ravens, that's going to be a fun game to watch against the Denver Broncos. I think the 49ers game is going to be a fun game to watch if you're a Nicky's Niners fan. Nicky. Oh, gosh, baby. I know you love that team, Nicky. You love that team, and they're going to win. They're going to beat the Seahawks at home, and the Rams and the Cardinals are going to be a great game. So the only two teams that are going to be undefeated after this weekend will be the Los Angeles Rams and the Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to be fun, guys. Fun. Well, anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. And I look forward to next week, and I'll see you next week. All right. Stay safe and get vaccinated.